Hey everybody, welcome back for another memory keeping plan with me. This time it is for the week of October 9th through the 15th. And this was my husband and I, our 11-year anniversary, our dating anniversary. We just got married, but like, why reset the clock when you've already been together 11 years? I think it should still be celebrated, even if we weren't married that whole time, you know? So that's where we're at. This is a kit from Lynner Designs. I think it's called Warm by the Fire. This is the ultimate kit version, so this is what we're gonna be working with today. Obviously still got a lot left over on these sheets. I have a couple full boxes even, but this is what I like to use to start off a kit. Got a beautiful little thing sheet there and lots of functional stuff, of course. And I did pair this with both gold and orange foil, so I've got a custom quote over here from Hannah. I don't know if you can see that, but there it is. That is one of the Taylor Swift quotes from Hannah, another Taylor Swift quote from Hannah, and then this one is from Scribble Prints Co. And then you'll also see some orange foil. I pulled all of that from this Alicia Craft freebie, and I'll use this box eventually. I just need to figure out. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so this is not just like clear sticker paper throughout, like it is an actual outline. So I will figure out a place to put this eventually once I have all the plans down. I've also got a couple of script freebies from Hannah and Lynner Designs. This one is in red foil, so I thought that would match nicely. And I do have one extender on Monday, just to account for a very busy day. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I don't know what to do with the rest of my sidebar because I had no habit trackers this week, and I also didn't really write anything in my sidebar other than it's 3 months till our wedding anniversary. So maybe I'll pull a sticker for that eventually. I don't know. This blank space doesn't bother me too much. Like, I'm not the type of person who has to fill up their sidebar. Maybe I'll put a picture here eventually. It's not going to happen today though. But anyway, let's go ahead and zoom in on Monday and get started. I am obsessed with this base, but it's going to look even better once there are actual plans in it. So let's zoom in. If you hear noise in the background, it is raining outside, which is a beautiful thing for mid-November. Normally it is super dry here, even in November. So I'm excited. I know a lot of people are going to complain about it, because Southern Californians are like cats and act like they will die if they get even a little bit wet. So I'm glad to be moving away from here, but yeah, let's just jump into the plans. That's all the noise in the background is the lovely rainstorm that I didn't really expect in mid-November because normally, like I said, it's totally dry here. Okay, so Monday, October 9th, my husband did have the day off because it was Indigenous Peoples Day. I did not have the day off, weirdly enough, even though I also work in the public sector. So I did some work this day, but also I wanted to make sure that I spent time with him, which I do not regret because now he is gone for a little bit at his new job. So I did try to prioritize spending time with him while he was here. So for that, I just have a heart. And then I was anxious about a situation. I'm not going to get into it, obviously, but just going to go ahead and slap a label down for that. This is also, if you've been following along with my last few videos, this is where things start to get a little difficult with our little kitten. We did take her to the vet this week, and that kind of started this whole thing that will continue for the next several weeks. Just kind of I don't know if it's necessarily a trigger warning, but I'll just give you a content warning. Our kitten has been very sick, and this is where that saga is going to start beginning. So if you're not comfortable with hearing about that, this might not be the video for you, especially towards when we get towards like Friday. Because I was anxious about that situation, and I knew I had a therapy appointment this day, I was doing something that she had recommended and journaling about the situation so that we could talk about it. So that's the next thing I'm gonna mark. And then, yeah, we're gonna do this. This is Lynner Designs matte vinyl paper, so it is a little tricky to pull up sometimes. So once I put a label down, it kind of has to live where I'm putting it. So for journaling, that is from Cinderella paper, and then I did have my therapy appointment, so I'm just using this @ symbol. It is very old. I don't know where it is from. That's the first portion of Monday. And then I did do a little bit of work, not a ton. Sorry, students. But I did a little bit of work. I had to send out some reminders and things like that. Actually, I'm gonna do something bigger than that because I'm only marking 3 things in this box. And then I did a tiny bit of grading. I was not the most productive this day, not even gonna lie. Something just fell near me and scared me. Oops. Okay. Let's use one of these pattern boxes, I think. And then because my husband was off this day, I was like, ooh, we should go to the pumpkin patch this day because obviously the weekend before this, we had a ton of plans, so we couldn't go. And then also it's like, well, you're off on a weekday. Let's go because like, obviously it's gonna be way less crowded, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful to be there when there's just like a few people there because shout out to Tanaka Farms in Irvine, they're great. But they do get very busy on the weekends, and so if you can go during the week, it would definitely be a better experience in my opinion. Like there weren't very long lines, just wasn't crowded, and it was really nice. So I think I'm gonna put that in a really big box. What is that noise? All right. Sorry, I freaked out for a moment because I heard a door open and I was like, there's no one here but me. What is going on? Our bigger cat, Evie, hates the rain. She's a true Southern Californian, and she's been hiding under the bed most of the day. And she just came out, and I had sort of closed the bathroom door a bit, and she forced it open because she wanted to go either hide in there or use her litter box in there. I don't know. So that's the noise I heard. I just kind of freaked out a little bit. I'm like, what door was closed that could have possibly been opened? And if someone is opening it, who is opening it? Because nobody else is home right now. Anyway. So for work, I just have a little pencil icon. While we were driving over to the pumpkin patch, I was reading our New Zealand travel guide. The last time I did that that's the last time I've done it. Our New Zealand trip is probably on hold while Clover's undergoing treatment, just because she's probably going to be doing treatment until at least January. So one really notable thing about this day with Tanaka Farms is that this year they decided to like roll their wagon ride tickets into like their just general admission tickets. So we did the wagon ride for the first time in a couple of years. So that's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. They have these really cool like lanterns and everything. Tanaka Farms is owned by a Japanese American family. And if you don't know, there's like a really long history in California with Japanese immigration and farming and all of that. And there's a lot of people who are really proud of like their history with that, like their family's history with that. But obviously it's complicated because like everything that happened during World War II that we need to acknowledge and deal with. So anyway, my point by saying all of that is that they have like a lot of homages to Japanese culture in some of their decorations. So that was really nice to see on the wagon ride. And then of course we got pumpkins. So I'm gonna put that in a similarly big box. Hey, no, sorry for yet another Evie interruption. I leave food out for Clover because she's supposed to be eating more. She doesn't always finish her food though, and so Evie came in and was like, sweet, early dinner. And I'm like, no, that's not for you. And she's like, damn it, foiled again. Anyway. For going around and getting our pumpkins, this is from a shop that's no longer open. And then I started falling asleep in the car on the drive home. I was very tired this day. We had a very busy weekend. And it was getting to me. So for that, we're gonna do a label. Like, I was actually nodding off in the car. Because, like, geographically, Irvine is not that far from us. But at like 4 o'clock on a weekday, the traffic's terrible. So it takes like an hour to get home. Kind of ridiculous. Another reason I'm glad to be moving. Like, I'm sad about moving, but at the same time, I'm like, maybe I'm ready to get out of Southern California because life is just, it's just hard here. So then got home, dinner, all that normal stuff. And then I continued watching The Great British Bake Off Professionals on the Netflix. So for falling asleep in the car, it's like a little smudge here, sorry. That is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then for watching Bake Off the Professionals, this is from Alicia Craft. Okay, so Monday is finally done. Lots of stuff going on. Tuesday I had classes. Why is that every time I film a plan with me, I have to cough? Like, this doesn't happen any other time. Okay, it looks like I only have 5 things to mark. So the first thing I'm gonna mark is my husband going to the office to work. This was back when he was at his job in LA. And then, oh gosh, how am I gonna mark this in a way that doesn't look ridiculous? There's not a whole lot to mark. Anyway, for him going up to the office, I just have this car from Planet Hannah. And then I technically only had 1 class this day because the rest of my classes I was meeting with for conferences. So I think we're gonna do a big box for conferences. And then the second half of the day is the part that's gonna look a little odd, but we will figure it out. It's almost Evie's dinner time, so she's scrounging about, seeing how much trouble she can get into. I guess she, it's still raining outside, but she's decided that it doesn't bother her enough to forego dinner right now, even though it's not dinner time for another like 45 minutes probably. I don't exactly know what time it is right now. Hold on. Okay, more like 40 minutes, but still. Okay, so I had my freshman class that I taught, and then everyone else, my other classes, I was just meeting with individually to discuss their papers. Do I have any shapes or flags or anything with this kit? I could use flags. That could make it cute. Yeah, I think we're going to do that with the spoiled icon just to make it look a little more interesting. How does this fit in here? One thing I liked about an old format of the Scribble Prints Co. kits were the shapes. I know she doesn't have those anymore, but this kind of functions the same way. So that laptop is from Alicia Craft. So that's the first half of Tuesday. And then for the second half of Tuesday, didn't do a whole lot because after work, after teaching classes, I should say, I'm like always tired. So I edited a plan with me. And then I tried to start watching Our Planet 2 on Netflix, and it was just really depressing me. So sorry, world, I just couldn't handle it this day. So I switched shows, but yeah, I was just like, I don't know about this. I don't know that I can take, I was already really stressed about work and just life and everything. I'm like, I don't think I can take like dealing with all the weights of the world right now. I know I just did the flag thing above there, but I'm not going to do it here because I will probably run out of flags if I do that. So we're just going to do that, and then let's do I love this term, it's so oxymoronic, big little thing. What? But that's what people call it, so we're going to do that at the end of the day. It's so funny, there are so many terms in the planner community for stickers and stuff that like really don't make any sense. But if you take a sociolinguistic approach like I often do, as long as the whole group understands what the meaning is, then technically it's a word, right? So Anyway, that is from Planet Hannah, and that is from Alicia Craft. Like I said, I tried to watch Our Planet 2, got really bummed out, and then watched Mythical Kitchen on YouTube to deal with that. Wednesday. Let's see. My husband went to the office again. So I'm just going to do, I think, the same situation. This is going to look a little weird here at the beginning of the day, but it's fine. They're in traffic. And then I wrote a card to my husband because our anniversary was going to be the next day. So let's do this. Me, that's for good. Okay, I have this little Happy Mail sticker from Fox and Cactus. I think I'm going to cut off the part that says Happy Mail, though, just so I have the cute little heart envelope. I never use Happy Mail stickers because I really don't like mark when I get Happy Mail. It's just not a super important thing to me. But that looks really cute. Oh, that's actually really adorable. Okay, cool. And then I was grading a whole bunch of papers. We've been over this. This is my life right now. So we're going to use one of these. Whoops. Okay, this needs to get moved up a bit. You'll notice probably, maybe you won't notice, I don't know, that when I don't use underlays, I try to fill up the space as much as, oh, do not stick there, please. Please be nice. Okay. Not much damage was done. A little bit of the ink got pulled off of that cookie sticker, but for the most part, I think we survived. Yeah? Okay. I try to fill up the space more when I don't have, like, underlays, and I try to save the stuff that, like, would show off the underlays more when I use leftovers of a kit, and then I have underlays, if that makes sense. Wow. I'm surprised we got out of that relatively unscathed, but anyway. For grading papers, I have this from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And we can move on to the second part of Wednesday, where I was cuddling the Clover cat. Little Clover kitten. She's a cutie. So for that, I did one of these. Try and be more careful so I don't end up sticking stickers to things. For cuddling the Clover kitten. Try saying that 5 times fast. I got that from Beneva Creations. And then I filmed Plan With Me. So let's see. Let's use one of these. Filmed a Plan With Me. So this is from Cinderella Paper. And then the last thing I'm going to mark is this is where I started rewatching all of Queer Eye on Netflix because I needed a more uplifting show, just being honest with you. So that's what I've been watching for the last several weeks. And let me tell you, with everything going on with the kitten being sick, it's been the right show for me. Do I think sometimes they oversimplify some really big problems? Yeah. I think some people on the show, gotta be honest, I think they need really intensive long-term therapy. Or like they need to go to therapy with their kid who they have an issue with and like talk out some things in more depth than longer than 1 week. There's also some political issues that get brought up that I think are like way oversimplified. That's just me. I just heard my cat try to get up on the counter. How do I know that? I put a piece of tinfoil there because that's where I found her this morning. She's probably upset now. Please hold. Yeah, I just asked Evie. I'm like, did we just learn a lesson the hard way? And she went, Meh. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure. All right, so that is the first half of the week. We can go ahead and move on to the second half. So Thursday, I'm gonna refocus the camera. Yeah, Thursday, as you can see, October 12th is our 11 years together. I was gonna say 10, 10 was last year. I can count. 8 things to mark. So we're gonna start off. I'm gonna do something cute for the anniversary, you know? Don't love my color options right now. I think we're gonna have to do red, actually, instead of orange, which would follow my color pattern a bit more, but that's fine. The next label will be orange anyway, so works for me. So for 11 years together, just using this cute couple of munchkins from Once More with Love. And then same deal as Tuesday, my first class, we met in the classroom, and then my subsequent 3 classes, I just had conferences with them. So let's see. I think let's just do one of these for my classes. Oh, apparently I was grading too. Oh, that's, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Sorry, you're probably like, what? This first class had peer review this day, so that meant I could grade during class, while also trying to keep people on track and being like, you're writing feedback on their paper, right? And they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, that has been a big struggle the last few years. If you don't know, I teach college writing, and all of the classes I teach are, like, people are, let's be real, I know this. I'm teaching the classes that people don't necessarily want to take, like they're required for their general education. They are important. People try to act like general education is not important lately. Don't appreciate that. I think you need to be a well-rounded person. I didn't love taking math in college, but I do think I should have been required to take it. But anyway, I'm just rambling. I might cut all of this out. Sorry. So I graded a few papers, like not a lot, just a couple. That's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then I met with the rest of my students by conference. So that laptop's from Alicia Craft. Then I got home and I was exhausted because I talked to a million people this day. That is obviously an accurate account of how many students I talked to in a day. 1 million. So I think I'm just gonna do some little things here. So I was really exhausted. I edited a plan with me. And then my husband made a special salmon dinner this night to commemorate our 11 years together. So obviously it's not our wedding anniversary, but like it's still important to us. And I'm glad we're on the same page about like whether or not it's important to us to celebrate both anniversaries still. That's kind of nice. Not kind of nice, it is nice. I think I need to move this yellow label up just a smidge while trying not to rip anything. And then, whoops, did I move this down? I did not, I'm sorry. So special salmon dinner, and then watched more Queer Eye. Yeah, I do like the show a lot. I just think a couple things, like, let's be honest, like, some of these people who have really deep-seated issues, like, I don't know that 1 week is gonna solve your entire life, but you know, it's television, none of it's real. Some of it's real, some of it's not. So the pillow is from Pink Diamond Planner Co. For editing the plan with me, I have this from Planet Hannah for the special salmon dinner from my husband. Basically made like a very basic, not very basic, but like I forget what he did with the salmon. It was good though. The salmon, rice, and broccoli. We don't normally buy salmon because it's, you know, a little more expensive, so that was tasty. That's from Beneva Creation. And then that's from Alicia Craft for watching more television. All right, moving on to Friday, the 13th. Had multiple Fridays the 13th this year. The first one was the day before our wedding. Okay, so this day, I feel like I have a lot of things to mark. Oh, not that many. Okay, first thing I'm gonna mark this day though is that my husband had the day off, so he had a really short work week. This was like his regular day off. And that was helpful because this was the day he figured, I should give him credit, that we should call a vet because basically our kitten's belly had been swelling and it wasn't going away, and he was like, we should probably talk to our vet. So he called our regular vet, and that kind of got everything rolling. We ended up having a long talk after he called them because they weren't able to see us that day, which is totally understandable. Like, they're just a regular vet office and they are often very busy, and kind of understandably so, because I do really like our regular vet. Like, both vets who work at that clinic they're really nice and good at what they do, I feel. But they were saying we should probably go to a hospital. And then I was like, well, can we try a different vet clinic, just because I know a hospital is going to be expensive. So my husband called around, and the second place he called was able to see her this day. So that was good. The only thing is then things got kind of weird with like the turnaround on test results and all of that, which made things kind of stressful for a bit there. So we had a long talk. I was stressed, so that grumpy sticker is from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then I was feeling also stressed because of work at this point. So like I mentioned, it's good that my husband had the day off this day because he could take the kitten to the vet while I was grading, because I really needed to grade. It's like I can move things around when I need to as far as like scheduling, but like at the end of the day, the paper's got to get graded. So I can only put that off for so long, you know. I can only take so many days off. So that's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. for grading. And then, like I mentioned, my husband took the kitten to the vet, who was not our normal vet, but she was helpful. It was more just like the staff that I don't know what was going on. It's just everything took a while, and it seemed like a really urgent situation, but then like it was taking a really long time to get test results, and like people were not calling us back when they said they were going to call us back, and that was kind of frustrating. So I'm out of vet stickers that match right now, so I just have this doctor office sticker from Oh Hello Co, and then I'm layering that with a bangle sticker in gold foil from Planet Hannah. Cat's not a bangle, but that kind of looks like her. So they did an x-ray and blood work, and I think took a urine sample too for testing. So that's what happened that day. I believe that vet told my husband it could be this one really serious thing. I don't know how specific I want to get with what is going on with our kitten. If you want to know more about it, you can DM me on Instagram maybe, especially if you have cats and you're concerned about some of the things I'm talking about. But I don't know that I want to like get into specifics here, just because it might like draw in an audience that like I don't really want to deal with on my planning channel, if that makes sense. It probably doesn't make sense. Sorry to be vague. It's just kind of a sensitive situation. So anyway, x-ray really wasn't very helpful. Blood work and urinalysis ended up being a lot more helpful. We'll talk about that next week, unfortunately. So moving on to the second half of the day, I did have a quick meeting with a student who wasn't able to make it to their originally scheduled meeting, so I am going to mark that. Not really sure why, but might as well, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I'm like, some of the things I mark, I'm like, do I really need to remember that happened? Not that I don't like meeting with my students, but like when it's just one student, it's like, it was like a 10-minute meeting, but you know, it's also my life right now. So that's from Alicia Craft. And then I pulled stickers for a plan with me, which I think I've decided I'm going to stop marking this so frequently. It's not that interesting. But I wrote it down for this week, so I'm going to mark it for this week at least. And then we went out to dinner. Oh gosh, I meant to look up the name of this place and I didn't. So I might pause for a moment because we went to this my husband found a really great sushi restaurant in Yorba Linda. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a surprise. He found a place where the person who runs it like goes and gets really fresh fish. So that was a really nice surprise. The fish was very fresh. I did enjoy myself. Here comes Evie demanding dinner. So for pulling stickers, this is from Bella Planella, and then this is from the sticker party. It kind of resembles what I got that night. We got some shumai as a starter, and then we got the sashimi, and then we also got dessert, which we don't normally do, but we got a matcha cake. So that was nice to celebrate our anniversary. So that date night script is from Cinderella paper. And then the final thing that I'm going to mark here is coming home and watching Great British Bake Off, the new episode that came out that day, and then more Queer Eye. So this is also going to be from Alicia Craft, and well, actually, you know what? I'm going to have to look up the name of the restaurant when I write it in, so I'll tell you the name of the restaurant at the end of this video. It was really good, though. And I'm sure if you Google sushi in Yorba Linda, you could probably find it. All right, Saturday, it was 9 months married for us. So for that, use this box. Oh, and then Clover was 6 months old. So I will say the disease that she's is suspected to have, the age range where it generally pops up, it usually affects young cats, 6 months to 2 years old. That is the most common occurrence, and it was just sad because it's like she literally turned 6 months and then her life got so difficult. So that was kind of sad, but we just had 7 months with her yesterday, at the time that I'm filming this. So, you know, that was a good milestone marker right there. It was like, we made it to the next age marker. So I was happy about that. I'm gonna run out of space here already. Whoops. But anyway, that's from Beneva Creations. And then this was the day of the solar eclipse, so I totally forgot it was going on. And then I was like, why is it getting weirdly dark? And then my husband went outside, and I guess one of our neighbors had gotten the solar eclipse viewing glasses for him and our other neighbors, so they let us share so that we could, you know, stare directly at the sun but never in the mirror. So that is a Nightmare Before Christmas sticker. I think that's really old, from Pretty Sheepy. And then our cat Evie was running wild. I was joking that it might be partly because of the eclipse, you know. Cats, they're celestial beings. Let's be honest about that. So came inside and she was just running wild. And so I played with her. And then, oh, this is funny. We had it on our to-do list for a bit to book our intercity flights. for our New Zealand trip. I'm laughing because we did it this day right before the kitten got very sick. And I can't, if I can't laugh, then I'll just start crying. So yeah, we're probably gonna have to go and cancel these tickets. And it's just funny because I had kind of been on my husband about like, you know, we need to book those. Yeah, we need to get those done. And we finally took care of it this day, and then less than a week later, we were in the ER with the kitten. So that's unfortunate, but I'm pretty sure we can at least get flight credit and then just, I mean, hopefully go another time. That would be good, right? So that's gonna be for that. Yeah, I'm the type of person where like when I'm going through something really terrible, I will be laughing about it. And it's not because I'm not taking it seriously. It's just because my only other option is to cry. Like, we'll talk about this next week probably, but just in case I forget. When we were in the hospital with the kitten, like there were some funny things that happened with like one of the vet techs, and I was just kind of like going along with it and like joking around because like it was just such a sad situation that like I needed something that wasn't sad to fixate on. The situation was that he had been carrying around like a zip tie all day, and I thought he was like bringing it into the room with us to like tie together some papers to hand us or something. But he literally was just like, yeah, I've just been carrying this around all day and I don't really know why. I'm like, it's so funny. Like that's my situation. It's like I was in a really like kind of traumatic situation with my kitten, but like I will still find things to laugh about because if I don't, like I will not be in a good place. Anyway, then I boxed up my wedding dress finally. So that's under the bed in a proper storage container at this point instead of just a garment bag that my cats would sit on. And then what else are we marking here? Oh, I finally started, here's something I haven't finished. But I finally started working on some shadow boxes that I wanted to put together for some wedding memorabilia. Yeah, that's not going to get done before we move. It's just not. It's fine. I started it and then everything got difficult, so it's fine. I will just, they're all still in the box. The frames are still in the box that I ordered them from Michael's in, and you know what? That'll just make them easier to move later on. So anyway, to mark starting the shadow boxes, that's from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. And then at the end of the day, I watched more Queer Eye. So that's from Alicia Craft. So that's Saturday. And then Sunday, we're almost done. My husband did, it's so funny. He was leaving this job, but he kept like volunteering to work at special events for it. But like, hey, you know, if you can get overtime, cool. I can't get overtime. So my only opportunities for working more are doing like extra trainings, and those don't pop up that frequently. I just did one, but then after taxes and my required retirement contribution and everything, it's really not that much extra money, but I will take whatever I can get because I just spent a lot of money taking care of my kitten. Anyway, so for marking him working at that event, I think it was like a street fair or something. He works in government, so like he has to do public outreach. So going to special events is sometimes important to reach people who you wouldn't normally reach. So while he was working, I was like, you know what? I should work too then. So I did that. Let's use this color. So I graded some papers, and then he got us Chipotle on his way home. So I feel like I've used a lot of this yellow color for some reason, which is interesting. I don't know, I feel like a lot of times I end up like using a lot of one color, like more than I really intended to. I don't really know why that is. So for grading, this is again from Itty Bitty Sticker Co. For Chipotle, this is from Cinderella Paper. Before I put that down though, one of our friends called to share some exciting news. I'm not going to say what the exciting news was because it's not public though. It's not public yet. So will this fit? Let's see. No, that will not fit. Save that for later. Let's switch these. But anyway, I just wanted to mark it because even in the midst of everything else going on, there have been good things going on for some of our friends. So I want to make sure I remember those things because, you know, I'm happy for them for sure. I'm going to space these things out a little bit more. You hear all the cars driving by in the rain? It's kind of a nice sound. Okay, pulled the ink off of that one. Oh well. Okay, for Chipotle, that's from Cinderella Paper. And then for the Happy News, this is from Once More with Love. And then we just have one more box to complete. So I took a nap. That's weird. That's out of the ordinary for me. So let's see. Wow, I have really burned through a lot of stuff from this kit. That is fascinating to me. Let's see. I'm going to use one of these. And then I played with Evie. She was probably running around wild again. When the weather gets cooler, she has a lot more energy and she wreaks havoc upon the town. Okay, and then the final thing that I'm going to mark is just watching YouTube. Looks like I was watching a lot of Eat the Menu. This might have been where they started posting the Cheesecake Factory videos. If you do not know what I'm talking about, sorry. I was going to say go watch it, but I'm also like, maybe you don't need to. Maybe it's fine. For playing with Evie, I've got this cat from Beneva Creations, and then I've got a custom Play with Evie custom script from Plana Hannah that I'm going to cut in half to make the placement look a little better. Evie is lurking beneath me as I'm talking about her. And then finally, another television from Alicia Kraft. Cute. All right, so now we can deal with our sidebar. So I'm going to zoom out. Zoomed out too far. Oops. There we go. That's a little better. I think I am going to put a half box in the corner. So let's pick a cute one. I used a lot from this kit, dang. Let's see. Let's use this one. Hi, Evie. And then what this will be for is just marking 3 months till our wedding anniversary, which is funny because it's not like I didn't already track how many months we've been married, like over here, but I have nothing else to mark this week and can take all the happy stuff that I can get. So I will grab a wedding related sticker for that. Oh, I forgot about this. Do I still want to use this? Will it fit anywhere? Doesn't really fit any of these boxes. Oh my goodness, maybe. I guess it could fit here, maybe. Let's see. Oof, this is fiddly. Let's see if I mess it up. It's like part of me doesn't really want to put it on because it's already got glitter inside the box, but also like it's fine to have multiple things going on, right? That looks decidedly okay. There's the Alicia Craft Ruby all done. And then, can I use any of these? I don't think so. I could probably just put a work script in. Let's do it. And then let's do a read. Since I haven't done that in a while now. Actually, let me write that in first before I put down. I pulled up the ink there, oops. Okay, what else can I use here? I didn't have a mental effing breakdown. That's the next week. Put that in your planner. Oh, we can do this one. And then I'll probably do plan too, yeah? Yeah, we can do plan for the camera, for filming a plan with me. And I think that's gonna be it. Yeah, we'll bring these back next week as well because there's also red in this kit. So that'll be good. Okay, and now I will go in and write everything in. All right, that is everything written in at this point. Let's take a look at what is left over. This is gonna go in the garbage, obviously. Still got a few full boxes left. Date covers, few patterned labels, the boxes that I can use with underlays and all the habit trackers because I tracked no habits this week, glitter headers, functional sidebar stuff, and other things I can use with underlays, plain labels and half boxes, and then still a ton of little things, which of course are always helpful when you're using underlays. But that is the week. I hope you enjoyed hearing about it. Let me know what you are up to down below, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.